Well, we apologize for the brief hiatus there. It was a longer break than we expected, but there was a match that was being played out in the background with one of these two teams having themselves a moment with another team inside of their division because things were getting juicy, things were getting spicy. It's the tail end of the night, and a lot of teams are starting to go ahead and find their way to a moment of an impasse, if you will. So, Amber, you can see there, the Canton Roos, unfortunately, do not have themselves a win in that first column. You know what that means? This is a winners-take-all matchup where one of these two teams will take a best-of-5 series that will dictate the rest of their collegiate COD season, meaning that they will get to the regional playoffs.
A winner go home. Our first night of LCQ. I like it, and I'm excited for this one. I mean, it's going to be a battle of the skies. I mean, the Ospreys take on the Falcons in this one, both of them sitting at 1-0. And yeah, you heard the battle cry there in the background. That's going to send us into battle as we look to talk about these teams, but excited to talk about these squads and their rosters. We'll have a look at Bowling Green first, see who all they're bringing. War here, Apollo, Solar 6, Erie, and Excel Orbits. I mean, you've got a little bit of everything here. Junior, senior, sophomore, everything but a freshman. But this squad looking to round out one that's trying to punch their ticket into a playoff qualifying spot.
Yeah, it's quite the group here. And this is a team that has had a pretty stout season. Only dropping one map overall, and that was a forfeiture loss. So undefeated on the season for this Bowling Green State roster. And the one thing I think we highlight on more than anything else, you could really point out to a lot of people on this team, but I do want to highlight the senior there, Solar 6. Seen him a couple times throughout this year. Has had some pretty big moments, as well as Apollo. Apollo's been playing pretty well this year too. So a couple players to watch out for on this roster. Specifically, we'll take a look at Stockton's roster as well on the opposite side. And well, this is a bit of a different tale. This team has been interesting throughout the year, to say the least. Zello, Cosm, Death Gun, and Big Ol' Willie down there. And you know what? That's a great name. I love a Big Willie.
Sure thing. You can speak for the one of us, absolutely. But yeah, this team, very interesting coming into tonight because
I think I said that wrong. Right, continue your point. I just wanted to clear the air. I think I said that wrong, if I'm being honest. I like the name Willie. I like it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the people knew your heart behind that statement. So we'll give you that one. We'll give you the McCorn meal pass. But yeah, for these squads, again, they come in at 11-0 for Stockton. 7 of those 11 are forfeiture wins. So again, really interesting to note because it plays so much into the fact that they've only played 4 actual matches this year. That's why you're going to see such a discrepancy on the head-to-head records between these teams. Bowling Green haven't dropped a hard point this entire season. Again, they only played 1 Game 5 in which they were victorious. So only having dropped a couple of maps here throughout the entirety of the year, apart from that forfeiture loss that you had mentioned. And yeah, both sitting at 1-0 in the LCQ, but as far as what pen to paper looks like, you got to think Bowling Green's passing the test.
100%. And, you know, to kind of follow up on your point, like the forfeiture wins against a lot of the teams, this Stockton roster has only taken 1-3-0 this season. It was the very first match they played against Syracuse. Every other game that they've gone in either, or, well, I guess one, has been a 3-2 or a 3-1 victory. So they have not been unscathed in any of the series they played except for one. So that definitely does lead to some interesting storylines. That 11-0 record might be just a touch misleading. Hotel Hardpoint for map 1, Mercado Search and Destroy for map 2, and the Hotel Control for map 3. That's our guaranteed map set. If necessary, we'll go to Mercado Hardpoint for 4, and an Embassy Suite Search and Destroy for map 5. Cash, Bowling Green. We haven't gotten an opportunity to see really either of these teams on screen throughout the entirety of the season so far. But being an open division team, I think Bowling Green sets a standard that a lot of other teams weren't really able to match up to this year. You know, every match besides 2 was a 3-0 win. And again, the only map that they technically dropped this year was a forfeiture loss against U Buffalo. So I personally think that this is going to be a very strong team, and the one team that was a Div 2 team inside of this little group that they had, well, it's already out of the picture. So that's the good news for either of these two teams who are still trying to vie for a playoff spot.
No, that's absolutely the case. For Bowling Green, again, you make that testament, that statement to this is a team I'm already going to circle early on in the LCQ, early on in the playoffs to, again, make a run, right? We'll see how they go tonight. Of course, you don't want to cast a curse out early on. But again, I mean, it shows on paper, right? They haven't dropped a hard point this entire year. They've only dropped 2 maps in the other modes, 1 in the search, 1 in the control. So a squad that has to be more than confident in their capabilities and what they've been able to do. A winner-take-all that could clinch them their playoff spot by the end of the night. And something they absolutely want to ride going into a playoff berth. So Bowling Green, a lot riding on their, well, literal and metaphorical wings going into this one. A lot they need to continue to prove and show that, hey, we're here to make a deep run. We're here to find a way into these playoffs and to make a name for ourselves. They can absolutely do that here tonight and definitely do that by closing out a good series here against Stockton.
Hotel Hardpoint gives us a nice gauge at the beginning of the series, which team will be able to get out early, find themselves on a nice rotation, or be able to break often, be able to have success at a high level and a higher percentage conversion rate of being able to get into those separate hills around the map. One that I always love to kind of use as like a real test is that kitchen hardpoint. The team that gets there early usually can set up for a strong money hill, but the ability to coordinate a good team hit, make a pinch play, and suffocate that kitchen can just be oh so important throughout an entire match. Apollo will open things up here for the side of BGSU. Solar 6 looking to make his way around the back lines, and as Cosm's going to be just here down around the corner, he'll drop shot for 1 clear out the middle of the map and give Stockton the advantage in the middle map hardpoint.
Bowling Green spawning top and bottom, but it's going to be Stockton sleeping through the right side, getting those spawns for P2 for now. Still just half the hill remaining. Bowling Green going to put contestant on mid-map and end up getting a flip back and forth. So again, expect to see these teams fight for these spawns, go back and forth, things flip out, and teams try to gain control. For now, Stockton with control of mid-map and happy for it. 20 points early in this one, 3 more in the kill feed, and the last bit of scrap going their way. Also, the spawn flip coming in as well. So picture perfect start here out of the Ospreys as they fly their way into P2.
Stockton just flew forward after they got out of jewelry and cut down Erie in the back. All it took from there on out was just to be able to trade a 1v2. So Solar 6 in the back line, though. The spawns will still be relatively close from the Falcons. As Velocities will just sit here, look to the left side. Unfortunate timing there. Isn't able to find through the front. No teammates were there for the help through satellite either. And as Apollo looks to go ahead and find his way out, it was, again, that early break that we saw from the Falcons that was quite nice. It's something that Stockton's going to have to be able to adjust to.
To the back lines. Trying to win a couple of 1v1s, and they do, but again, no time being warranted for them yet, so we're trying to sniff out one last player, and going to be able to snap to the second as well for added assurance. Now they're going to try to battle back in this one. Every bit of time will be needed just to tie this up going into P3, so already Bowling Green feeling a little bit of pressure here on P2, given that they've lost rotations to either hill. Now, P3, numbers advantage, Stockton going to be here early. Erie going to try to take one of these gunfights where he can. The double team will come in, it'll get cleaned out, cleared out. Kitchen under lock for now. All but a nearly tied game going into this next hill. Bowling Green pressure on them to get a break once again.
Loxley is looking back over towards the red car. Trying to get some information over in the back lines. Oh, the worst timing in the world. As Orbis was able to sneak through the back line. He gets the worst timing. Again, doesn't check right, checks back to the left. And that'll teach you just to hold at one angle and just keep it all the way through. Unfortunately, though, is forced to check the left and the right, and Death Gun will find 2 inside of the hardpoint. Stockton still here. The Falcons let the first 20 seconds go by, but this is the break I was wanting to see. Still white in the kill feed, though, as the Loxties will fall from the back lines. Spawns are going to be close here from the Falcons over by the restaurant side. They can control the middle of the map, and the last 25 seconds can be theirs if they get 1 or 2 more kills.
Everyone for Stockton is still looking to fly at this one and get a good amount of time. They spawn P6, but no one putting eyes towards P4. They're trusting that they can maybe get some scrap time here, but 2 for 2 in the feed. Solar 6 left standing. Going to be here to get the last laugh. A tied game going into P4s. Everyone on rotation for the Ospreys. They're going to have numbers quickly as they look to fly through.
Fly through in the most technical way possible. Cosm goes through a dolphin dive out of the top window. It's Lil Willie, though, who's going to be able to pop back with 2 inside of the bar. 5 seconds go the way of Stockton, but this game is still relatively close as the Falcons have only fallen behind just by about 10 points at this margin as they were able to get a bunch of time back over by the kitchen. White in the kill feed still. Lil Willie, 5 in a row, looking for a few more, and that's going to be 6 in a cruise missile to work with here as he finds the last person inside of the reception desk side of things. Back over towards the bars where the rest of the action will be happening, but the first 25 seconds goes Stockton's way, and now a contest will finally begin with Lil Willie being able to snap to 1 in almost a second.
And the difference between Stockton and Bowling Green at this point in the game is simply the Stockton's be able to break faster when they've needed to. Bowling Green, you would call it on P3. It took them the first 20, 25 seconds to look to get in. It takes Stockton the first 10 seconds, and they continue to run up the scoreline. Every turn that Bowling Green tried to battle back and tie this game up, Stockton can run the scoreline up another 20 or 30 points and get out on rotation as well. Bowling Green are going to have to find a way to win a solid rotation, get a sound setup, and lock down a substantial amount of time, because Stockton are simply flying across the map, pushing their will, breaking into these abilities.
Cosm takes care of the trophy system, allows the Loxities to be able to find the hill after the fact, be able to deal with the player that was going ahead and causing them trouble for the moment's time. Stockton here first, though. We'll get the first 10 seconds to go their way. The Falcons now going to have to fight back tooth and nail to try and get into this hard point, but just like the previous hills beforehand, not able to do it to an effective T. Cosm, two pieces. The Loxities will finally have his 8th streak killed off by his teammate, and he'll still be able to continue to wreak havoc around the map because he's got a streak to work with, and so does the rest of the team, as they now have utility for the next hill, especially on an open hard point of P6.
Trying to get out, trying to get forward, but it's going to be a foot race, and Deathgun might just get there first. May not have numbers at least to start, but definitely going to be winning another rotation for Stockton, as they have more than doubled the score line, eclipsing 150 points in this one, not even through the first set of rotations. Bowling Green are looking to string together a good response. It starts with sniffing out this kill. Deathgun not going to be an easy one to take down, though, as his hill pops.
Shots in from below. Deathgun snaps to the second as well. He's been on a tear here as of recent, but throughout the whole game, he's been a consistent rocks and stone and centerpiece for the Stockton Esports roster. And once again, as the kills continue to rain white in the kill feed, Apollo will finally trade things back to give the Falcons some much-needed closure and a bit of space to breathe over on P6. They can start wrapping and focusing their attention back to the middle of the map. This should be able to give them a significant amount of time to get themselves a bit closer to that margin that Stockton has built for themselves early on here in this first hard play.
They need to take this 1v1 here on the hill. Player 4, player 5, Solar 6 trying to duke it out, but a teammate in Excel Orbits will be able to clean it up. That's going to be a near full 60 still on the board for this team. It could be a 30-point game going into P1, and that looks to be the case. Stockton trying to get map fed, maybe investing a streak here or there. Even though it connects, that does soften the push through mid-map. Bowling Green right back into this one.
Loxities looking to the catwalk. Nothing was there just yet. 40-point game here between Stockton and the Falcons. The Ospreys who got themselves out to an early lead, look to continue to keep it that way. Middle map locked down by them for now, but as the Loxities is weakened, is forced to back off. He's got another player pushing in from Wine, who will cut him down oh so quickly. And as Excel will get into the hill, the rest of the players from Stockton going to be pushing up from the north side of the map, trying to go ahead, work their way south and around the right side of the map for the P2 spawns. But for the time being, they're just so focused on the center of the map that they go 3-1, clear everything out. And once again, the Falcons are fighting from the outside in.
Trying to wrap their way through, put emphasis and pressure on P2 spawns where they weren't able to cleanly win last to go around. And again, it's Stockton with mid-map control through this portion of it, knowing they were able to wrap back and find success getting P2 spawns the last go around. This time, though, Bowling Green guns might be a bit warmer, as Apollo's going to line up 3, lock down this bottom side of the map, and you're still putting pressure on mid to slow down these Stockton players from getting across. A good spread here for a P2 that's going to be much needed at this point, as, well, Stockton looked across the 200-point mark.
It won't get there just yet. It'll be damn close. 70 points, the difference maker between the teams, and there it goes. Double century mark now used for them. Solar 6 on a huge flank here. Able to find one. Snaps to the second. A third one might be on the cards here in just a moment, but the rest of the team has now started to make their way in, and the last player will be over towards the left side corner, and as the Loxities falls, Lil Willie through the front door will also get shut down by Apollo's steaming gun. 6 in a row. Cruise missile to work with. Streaks for both teams to be used, and now as the Loxities tries to push up the staircase, everybody from the Falcons starting to turn up here. The fryer has been turned on. Stockton looking to get dipped in like a couple of french fries.
Hedge play developing. They're going to try to collapse on the site and go for time. Apollo will try to line up one. Isn't able to get a kill on either. You have to win this rotation if you're Bowling Green. Plain and simple. The game relies on it. You have one player maybe here to contest, maybe to not let this time go the way of Stockton, but you read it out. You make the good play, and now they're going to send numbers on rotation. This spawn still going to be safe for Bowling Green. They need an answer here. Time, the game, relying on it.
Bowling Green the last time was able to get the majority of their time on the kitchen hill. They broke in early, held on to the rest of it, but this time they need to get the full 60 before Stockton can really have an opportunity to get into the front door. Death Gun, name living up to everything, double before he was able to get cut down by Erie inside of the point, and Apollo's going to be there as well. So locks these, uses the snake to his advantage. Shots are going to be good all the way through the wall and in from the freezer. Excel trying to find Solar 6 though in from behind. A nice little pinch play comes through from Stockton, and once again it's those orange arrows of the Falcons being able to hold on here. Burnt sienna, the color of the kitchen.
Still trying to find a way to carve forward, carve into the scoreline the best they can. They could pull it within 30 here. Stockton not giving it up, knowing they still could win it here, are going to try to sell out for it. But with those final kills, Bowling Green will force another hill. It's going to be a 2v2 out on rotation, pushing across mid-map. These kills on rotation are going to be everything. Solar opens up with the first.
He's on 8 in a row as well. Been the most important player here in the game for the Falcons as of late. Still quite a deficit to overcome if you are the Falcons. Stockton have set themselves up over at the bar. 20 seconds is all they need now. A fresh 60 seconds to be able to get everything they want and more. And a first hard point win. Streak going to be used over the top. Apollo forced to call things in. Won't be able to connect with anything just yet. And Death Gun will be able to trade things out onto Excel as Solar 6 walks up the staircase. Little Willie in the back. On the staircase, there's 2 shots for him. Cosm going to be able to snap back over to the right. And as Solar 6 falls, the last one here will be player number 3 in Excel. 2 seconds left for Stockton to make map number 1. And that's exactly what they will do. The Ospreys will fly high in a hotel hardpoint and take a 1-0 series lead over the Falcons.
Bowling Green tried to rally back, but could not ever get enough footing. I don't even know that they got a full 60 cleanly at any point in this one, at least without minimal congestion. Here it looked like their best shot, but again, when you have to really win every second of a kitchen hill and make what is the furthest hike across the map for a hill in this one, definitely a tall task to ask. A lot of teams find a way where they have the advantage to close it out on that P4, and that's exactly what Stockton do. They take a good 1-0 advantage in the series, and that's not the last time we'll see a hotel respawn. But for Bowling Green, definitely a bit lackluster at times. Kind of lacked that, that oomph, that punch to really get them a way to battle back into it, where they could overtake the lead once Stockton had it. They ran away with it, and that didn't quite look back.
Yeah, and again, you never want to peg it on one player. You never want to just kind of sit there and just kind of say, hey, it's your fault, because it wasn't. There was a lot of different moments that the Falcons could have capitalized upon, and they didn't. And for good reason, Stockton was able to take map number 1. Again, we said the record might be a bit misleading across the board because of all the forfeiture wins that they got. But regardless, they were able to make quick work of their opponents when they did play out their matches, and they made quick work of the Falcons there in map number 1. We'll talk about it here towards the end, but Erie at 4 and 7 right here, things don't look all too bad. But then there was a considerable chunk of change in the middle of the map where things took a turn for the worse. You can see 6 and 12 there, double negative, and while Amber, it just continued to spiral further and further out of control. At 7 and 12, I believe, after that point, he went about like 2 and 15 throughout the rest of the map. So,
yeah, definitely a rough map 1 start that you're going to look to try to forget about. Again, everyone playing pretty well for the side of Stockton, right? In comparison, 25 and 15 at this point in the game, and Death Gun, like you said, really started to take things over, cause them 2 minutes in the hill and then some. Yeah, tough opening map. Everyone else from Bowling Green, though, really doing what they can. It just was not quite enough to get everything going when everyone for the side of Stockton was playing at least a tick better.
Ugh.
Yeah, that'll be map 1 for us, though, and whew.
I don't know if you saw that or not, but 9 and 23 with only 30 seconds in the hill. That is absolutely a tough pill to swallow, and I'm sure that's something that they're going to try and provide better for in the next match. Could have just been a bad map, or maybe Erie wasn't getting put in the best situations for the ability that they have to play around the map for themselves. But regardless of whatever it is, the fact that the scoreline was relatively close for the majority of that game definitely speaks volumes to how good the Falcons roster can be. Well, when they have everybody firing on all cylinders, opposed to it just being, 2 or 3 players who are really having it click throughout the entire match. But it never sits well with me or anybody else when the person who has the least amount of kills on the roster in such a exponential way also has 20 seconds less in the hill than everybody else and wasn't able to get to that triple-digit mark in hill time.
Absolutely so. You got to find a way to show up in either column, but again, that could come down to a multitude of things. You hope to see a turnaround sooner than later if you are a BGSU fan. And as we go to Mercado for map 2, we're really just going to handshake this map back and forth for the next 4 if we need to go to 4. Switch it up at Embassy at the tail end of things. But for Mercado Search, I mean, it seems to favor the teams that have more strategy, a deeper playbook. If your plan at this stage in the season is to sprint at A and just throw stuff, see what happens when the dust settles, that might get you a round or 2 with some well-timed grenades and maybe a good jump shot around the corner. But again, if you do not have a plan after that happens, or if things don't pan out the way you would hope them to, yeah, that's where teams literally like to punish you and put you in the dirt. And really what I favor on this map as well is the first team to get over to that B site, and successfully, even better. If not, no big deal. Why? Because, again, it makes the other team have to keep that in the back of their mind that we shouldn't, right, give up this B site for free at any point, because if it's round 2 and they've already given it a look, okay, we know they're willing to get flexible around the map. We know they're willing to make moves. We need to at least have an Ireland player there. That gives you a number advantage on the site if you decide to go back and bully out A. By default, you would have numbers if you were to just win your 1v1s from there. So again, I like to see who plays the offsite first to try to just switch up the pacing and tempo, try to get control of that kind of intangible portion of the map and make the other team have to think or second guess for a moment, because, well, a moment of hesitation could buy you everything you need in a round. So again, really excited to dive into this Mercado and see what strategies these teams bring to the table.
I hope we get a good look to the sniper battle here, especially at the top level of play. We know how important a good boomstick can be in the search and destroy mode, especially on Mercado as it trickles down through. You know, some teams decide that it has less and less value as it declines down the ranks. But again, on Mercado, where you need to lock down the middle of the map and being able to have solid control of that entire mid lane is going to bode well, especially on the defensive side, or even on an offensive push where you want to make sure you can control that tunnel. So if you're able to lock things down with a nice little sniper on either side, that could provide a significant amount of utility for your team.
Yep.
And that could be an interesting storyline to go forward, because if somebody's just dominating that in every regard, you take, you know, not only 1 but 2 potential lanes off the map for people to make plays on, whether it's on the offensive or the defensive side. So we'll obviously have to wait and see. We did have a lobby reset, so just to key you guys in, keep you in the loop. I know you don't want to hear us talk any more than you want to see the game, but hello, here we are, and you're going to deal with us at least for another 30 to 45 seconds, so get used to it. Kissy, kissy.
Yeah, and I will continue to make a point on the sniper player you're talking about, and just to give the counter side to that, right? If you know someone's sniping, whether they're effective or not, if someone is effective, a sniper is going to be an easier gun or an easier type of player to make an effective. Why? Because, well, it's less malleable than an AR or a submachine gun, right? Given you have the one-shot tendency before you have the bolt action reload, it gives you a chance to close distance, to make a snappier, flashier play, and really try to find a way to make them, again, between a rock and a hard place. I would rather definitely be fighting against someone with a pistol, 5 of Azimuth,
sure.
If I close distance on that gunfight. So as effective as snipers can be, you can really work some angles with the map, find a way to close distance against them, and take some easier gunfights. That's how you can look to slow down their momentum and shut them down. Don't just walk down mid and try to chow that and wonder why you're getting gunned every time. Try to find a way to get creative, find a way to get through, you know, maybe garbage truck side, close distance, hit them on a flank. Different things like that can take them out of the game, get them second guessing, get them in their own head about where you are, and maybe look to even get them to put it away.
You certainly hope that you're able to do that. Just being able to back people down off of different angles, being able to force them to play the map and tailor it the way that you want to as a team is extremely important. And I think that's what Stockton did so well in map 1. They bolstered their numbers where they saw fit. They were able to play through the middle of the map to a T. And the fact that they were able to get out often on rotations, break kills early and consistently, those were kind of the key points that I wanted to see from these teams that we haven't been able to get a chance to watch all year long. And it really didn't disappoint me all that much. I think that showed us a lot of Stockton strengths, I think, for Bowling Green. There are definitely tons of great avenues that they can use here in the search and destroy to get the series back to a standstill. But again, it all comes down to being able to, you know, we say it every series when you're one-on-ones, and if Erie is not able to kind of carry the mantle here, start to pick up the torch and at least have it burn with a little small flame, you're probably looking at another deficit where it's going to feel like either a 3v4 or somebody else on the team is going to be able to pop off and be able to put a backpack on for 2.
Definitely so, and definitely something to keep an eye on as we are finally in the Mercado action. And would you look at that? Velocities opens up with the sniper for the first blood, death gun around the corner. Looking like he's shooting a ray gun at times, but Apollo there on the trade finally. When the dust settles, as I said, a 3v1 over at the A site. And Apollo trying to wrap his way back through mid and get a pinch play. But again, wow. Closing distance on a sniper. I mean, we're getting a little bit of everything in this first round.
Oh, and you know, Apollo just got the worst timing in the world, too, because Zalox is able to get all the way around about the back line. Cosm spotted out. Apollo, now information given to the opposite team. And, well, yeah, you're going to want to challenge that aggressively if you're going to go out a sniper. You don't want to throw shoulders in a very slow way where you're not going to be able to get around the corner before he spots you.
Great awareness. First and last kill of the round. And expect to see that boomstick in round 2. You open up with the first blood. You win the round behind it. Can't say there's too much to complain about that now as they go to the offensive side of things. They'll look to try to extend their lead out even further.
All right, let's pick a strategy out of the hat. All right, it's an A hit over towards the bottom of Cantina. Who would have guessed? Certainly not me. Zaloxy's the first one forward. Wallbang shot's going to try and shoot through the doorway just to make sure nobody can get into that bottom Cantina site without getting a little bit of pepper. All shaken into him. Apollo will force back off. Cosm just looking for the first challenge up here around the corner. Apollo will be the first victim to walk into the crosshairs, and while those iron sights will pay off, a flank now starting to make its way through the back.
Quite the spread coming in. Solar will pull the sniper and try to respond. His bomb looks to go down here. Maybe going to try to find another freebie. Willie. Maybe feeling something there, the top portion in that top window, but Excel going to find a kill on the backside. So out there, to collapse, they have numbers advantage. Zaloxy, though, puts the sniper away, able to find a good kill here. Still on a 3 spree, and I mean, just a great read on Eerie as well.
Sniper, though, last alive, 1 versus 2. Bomb has been down. Need to chase him all the way around. Doesn't realize that he has somebody coming in from a pinch play in the middle of the map, and that's just pretty right there. Being able to lay down on the last few kills in the round, but Zaloxy makes the beautiful play for the team. Help him walk away with him.
Much better play through the first couple of rounds out of Stockton to get off to a good start here. Zaloxy has a sniper. Defensively, puts it away offensively. Solar takes it out to try to respond. Doesn't get anything going too much. At least able to put a kill in that round. Zaloxy's on a 4 spree, though. Working his way towards this B site. Maybe on a flank play. Either way, 3v3 going down at A. Stockton get here first. Stuns connect as well. And Death Gun in this alley opens up with another kill before getting traded.
I mean, it's just first blood after first blood for Stockton. They play the aggressive game. It pays off for them. Sure, that aggressive play does get them cut down in a trade, but work it into a 3 versus 3. You don't allow the bomb to get pushed up onto the A site. You force yourself into the top of Cantina. You have all the angles cut down, and now you force Solar once again to be in a 1v on situation. This time it's 3 different players that he's going to have to go up against. The bomb is down in the A courtyard, and now a Solar 6 is going to be here with a sniper. He can't snap over towards the left. The staircase doesn't do him any justice. The creepy crawly is going to be able to get the best of him. 3-0 up is Stockton Esports here, looking dangerously close to being able to steamroll this to a 2-0 lead.
And if Zaloxy's can find streaks, even more so to that point. Playing so well around the map, and again, apart from finding the first bloods in every single round, right, still just winning 1v1s at different parts of the map. I mean, everyone with kills on the board, everyone positive for Stockton Esports. 3 kills as a squad for Bowling Green, not going to get the job done. Need to see them make a change at this point. Now that they've had both sides of the coin, time to make the adjustments where they need to, and it's going to be an all-out 4 hit towards A side. No tax connect, but let's see how these jump sides go.
Oh, Zaloxy will look left. Unfortunately, Solar wasn't able to look over towards the right, towards the middle, and I thought maybe for a second Zaloxy stays alive. XL, though, was able to get 2 before he's traded out, and in a 1 versus 2, it's Apollo this time. Unfortunately, Eerie has not turned up the way that we were expecting him to or wanting him to going into the search and destroy here. He's on donut watch, and Apollo is now looking to go ahead and find the shots onto Lil Willie. Cause him, though, with a stun is going to force him to stay directly put of where he was in the middle of the map. No chance to move around, no chance for the 1v2, and a 4-0 lead for Stockton continues to put more separation between them and the Falcons.
And that's just so unfortunate. You'd think if Apollo can get out, you get the player killed off bomb, maybe you stand a better chance, but you never once got eyes on Cosm, and yeah, got to shoot your feet. So Stockton really having their way in this search and destroy. Bowling Green with no answer, no response formulated. Each round that passes gets more and more dire for their opportunity. Solar still with the sniper at 1 and 4 is, again, an interesting point. We talk about snipers, and if they're effective, great, keep it out. But at what point do you look to try to put it away? Not going to be the case here at all. As trades go even, Death Gun with another first blood here. And looks to continue to press the issue. Willie finds 2, and well, that's a round. So great insight, Corn. Glad you got to chat about that one.
Well, you know, it's Mercado. I don't expect these rounds to last all that long, especially when both teams try to put aggression over towards the site. And well, guess what happened? Nothing, except everything. Because that's Mercado. 5-0 up. Stockton just continue to roll forward, live and let live, so they say. C'est la vie. 5-0 lead. There's really not much to break down. I'm gonna be completely candid with you here.
No, in all honesty, it's been Stockton steamrolling, Bowling Green not willing to make a change, not willing to, again, Solar, go hit a route, go hit a flank, find a way to get creative and get in the back line of Stockton. Why would they respect the flank? Because no one's hit it in 5 rounds, and now you're gonna have Zaloxi's calling a streak, Cosm opens up with the first blood. It is the same song and dance over and over again. And Stockton know it to a T.
God, it's sad. That's how slow this game has been. I'm mimicking the cruise missile noises. Zaloxities is able to find another kill in the game, who's at 8-1 now, and, well, Erie's at 0-6. Who would have thought? Unfortunate stuff. Excel Orbit's looking to make a flank all the way back over through P4. I'm not exactly sure what the play is here. You just wasted about 10 seconds of time making a route to, I guess, Neverland, I don't know. Death Gun through the doorway, though. First one going to challenge out by himself. Solar doesn't get the help from his teammate. Does get traded, though, somehow, some way. Doesn't turn back around. Zaloxies is there with his teammate, and that'll do it. Stockton Esports 6-0 here in the Search and Destroy, and Mercado opens and shuts the way we thought it would. A hit, and a hit for number 6.
I'm just quickly going back through my notes. We've seen 21 Search and Destroy rounds.
21.
And 3 of them, let me rephrase my wording here. Basically, we've seen it's 18-3 map count for Search and Destroy on the night. So it's been rather uninspiring Search and Destroy from either of these squads. And if, trends have told us anything, 0-2 is not a good way to be sitting tonight.
Yeah. 0-2, not where you want to be. That is for sure.
Do we have highlights from this map?
I think it's gonna be probably the quickest highlight reel we've had all season, to be fair. But I can say the same thing last series as well, and the series before that, because again, as you said, that's indeed uninspiring. Let's see what we got. Aerial cam, by the way. Shout out Ryan Switchy. So sexy, so cute, so hot. That's my insight. How about you?
Yeah, again, you've heard Corn and I cast. From an analyst standpoint, sometimes you just got to keep it as clear as water. Bowling Green obviously need to make a change going into map 3 in order to stay alive in the series. Erie has 9 kills through 2 maps. Again, you don't want to pin it all on one player, but that's definitely not a way to help your team. Solar, again, I don't think it's smart to keep the sniper through 6 rounds and only find 1 kill without maybe calling a switch up here or there. Not the sharpest of decision makings in the Search and Destroy, which leads me to believe that this control could be a quick one, given that we're going back to Hotel. No problem on Hotel Hardpoint, couldn't get out and rotate. They had to rely on breaks the entire time from a deficit as well. And just unfortunate situation to be in. Some of the things, though, they can very much control and change to make it maybe a better map 3 for them. So the question is, do they make those changes? The answer has been not really through the first couple of maps, but again, so long as there's still COD to be played, they still have a chance to make those improvements. And you can only hope, being a Bowling Green fan, that they make those coming out of this break. But Stockton, I mean, plain and simple, it is they're cruising to a playoff clinch if this is how it continues to go.
I'll tell you this. It's probably, I'll tell you this is the answer to the solution for the Falcons. Having a player drop 9 kills in the span of 2 games isn't great. Kind of reminds me of Courage JD from back in the day, 0-15, word of the donut man. But again, we're poking fun at players. You know, it's all fun and games here. Truly, at the end of the day, we're not ragging on the players. This is a pressure-filled, intense situation, and you know, there's going to be moments where you falter, you waver. Some people will take that challenge and be able to succeed with high-flying colors. So, you know, when things do happen, though, it's always important to be able to shout those out. and bring light to them because they are important in the context of the conversation and the match as a whole. So while we step aside, recollect our thoughts, and think about what should be a 3-0 sweep for the Stockton Esports Ospreys here, we hope to see you back on the other side for a control. It'll be fun. Join us. We'll be back in a bit. Well, welcome back, folks. It's been a fun night of 3-0s across the board. We've had some great matchups. And by great matchups, I mean fun times here in College COD. It's been a doozy, tell you that much, Amber. But we've gotten through 2 maps so far. The Stockton Ospreys, 250 to 185. And the Hotel Hardpoint, that was relatively close. As close as that can get. And a 6-0 search and destroy has now led us up to a hotel control. All right. Go dad. Go dad. It's been a night filled of hopefuls, to say the very least. But the Stockton Esports roster, they are closing in on what is 1 hotel control away from locking themselves into the 2023 College COD playoffs, which is no small feat in its own. Of course, being an open division team, the road to the playoffs is not easy, at all. The fact that they went undefeated throughout the entirety of the regular season, thanks to even a few forfeits, but now we're just 1 map away from being able to get to the playoffs, is definitely inspirational. Unlike
the search and destroy, absolutely so. Where they're now 1. I guess their search would have been inspirational. Sure, we'll call it an inspirational search. Sure, why not? It's been that kind of 9-6-0 on Mercado, definitely so. But yeah, for Stockton, looking really good. Given what we saw on paper, right, with the sheer forfeit count, I figured Bowling Green would give a stronger showing, plain and simple, given that they've only lost 2 maps on the year for Bowling Green. Again, it's just, maybe it's as simple as you're having a flat night and you come out flat. Again, the series not over by any stretch. We talked about the scoreline, we talked about the situations, though, going into break. Feels like it could be. So again, we're painting it as do and die as a dire situation because it is do and die. It is win or go home type of situation. Bowling Green's season could end after this map if they cannot find a way to turn things around. And they could simply just bow out of the tournament in the first round of LCQ. So no one wants to do that. They want to go out swinging with their best foot forward. And I can't say we saw that in the search. We need to find a way to see them piece together all of the good things that they have put forth, the series, and see it all come to a head. Did they put forth a lot of good in the search? Not necessarily. Again, they had some right ideas, but mis-executions, and the respawn, same type of thing, continually fighting from a deficit, not being able to get out on a rotation, and instead relying on a break. Again, those are things that are going to have to change, but where they did do well, and again, in the respawns, they were slaying fairly well. Again, Erie, of course, we said that player to watch, hopeful to turn things around. You need him to at this point. It is desperation time because the rest of the team couldn't quite get the job done without him. You hope to see those things turn around. You hope to see them play with a bit more map control here. And already a quick push towards A just to get time on the clock. I like this initial break.
Well, Erie will go ahead and get better already than he did in the search and destroy. If you are a Falcons fan, well, you certainly have to be happy about that. Way to go ahead, pop off here early on in the beginning of the game. Lil Willie, though, in the middle of the map, going to be able to find one. As that A site will be captured, 3 ticks of progress go to the side of the Falcons. The Stockton Esports now going to have to be basically waiting in the middle of the map for the Falcons to make their push out of the restaurant. Deathgun going to be making his surge forward while being aggressive as ever.
Still 2 minutes to work with. Orbit's going to backtrack and find the kill. And really, you've got Zaloxy's playing deep, trying to watch this pinch play. If someone's trying to wrap, but no one going to. Everyone pushing through bedside, through mid. Seeing what opening or soft spot they can find. Nothing giving just yet is Cosm and Stockton. I have seen them on the worst ends of some ridiculous COD timings tonight, and it is not looking much better in map 3, but teammates are there to get the trades and clean up the kills. 90 seconds left on the clock. Stockton has held on for this long. See Bowling Green on the flank.
Dead silence being popped. Hip fire shots from Apollo are going to be good onto 1. Haven't been able to get over towards this B site just yet, but still about, a minute and 20 seconds of time to actually get this pushed all the way up. I tried to do quick math there and it just completely screwed me over. I just not need to add up time. I was thinking 120 seconds left on the clock. Dude, I need help. It was Bowling Green, to be fair.
To be fair, I mean, quick math, slow math, I don't think I can help you out with either of it. So, yeah, we're going to keep it pushing here. Now we see that there are only 50 seconds left. That's math I can handle, seeing as I'm just reading numbers. And Bowling Green, yet to make any headway across the map. Trades go back and forth, and, well, with every kill feed that has white in it, it seems to favor Stockton that much more. Finally, you get a couple of orange kills on the board, maybe a snap towards mid-map, but Loxity's able to find that one. First pick of progress and counting. Stockton looks to try to clash back in.
2 players on the point. Second tick of progress is going to be good. The white arrows from Stockton trying to flock around the point at the moment. Erie will drop down, find one. Solar 6 there as well. Last one in the hill is going to be Willie. 1 versus 1 towards the bottom of the point. 2 HP. Solar survives. It will stop the clock yet again. 42 seconds. Halfway through the last tick of progress. Snade going to be in there. Stun weakens Solar all the way up to 1 HP. He's still weak on the point. Shots around the corner for Death Gun are good. They're able to buy themselves just enough time, but Erie is still there. Lil Willie will stun check all the way across. Reloads the Vaznev. Still had 10 bullets in it. Erie has gotten all the way back across to the site. 8 and 4 has really started to tee up here inside of the control, and as XL orbits will find Zaloxities and everybody can start stacking the zone, the Falcons will be the first team on the board. An offense that goes their way, and we have life from Bowling Green.
And here he goes double positive, so 1 + 1 does equal 2, and maybe that's what Bowling Green needed to finally get something going for themselves. I mean, 8 kills in 1 round, that's just about a third of the kills, so really, really strong showing out of Erie, a turnaround that we needed to see. And would you look at that? Bowling Green finds success behind it. Stockton putting the stunner there offensively. Need to try to do the same. Need to try to earn some good ticks of progress if they can't win the round. And Bowling Green, if there was ever a time to have, like you said, life, to have momentum, to really try to ride this kind of wave that you've made for yourself, this is going to be it.
Loxities on the staircase, pops up, Cosmo over the top, is able to find good shots. Now Zaloxities can get in behind one. Didn't stop the player that actually went out towards the middle of the map. So this could be great timing here from Solar 6. Spots out on the Zaloxities is good for 1. Excel Orbis is there too. Death Gun trying to get across onto the B zone, and now can go ahead and use this staircase head glitch to his favor. Stun grenade, gonna spot Apollo all the way on the cross. Beautiful shots there from the tack are going to be good enough. First tick of progress might just be in here in a moment, as Stockton Esports are trying to go ahead and capitalize on both the A and the B zones as Lil Willie gets 2 in mid-map.
And those were big kills because Erie was trying to hit a flank through Cat and try to get top bed, which could have shut all of this down. But again, those kills so influential. Finds the third, and this should be B progress earned, as well as 1 tick coming in at A. So as quickly as Bowling Green found success, Stockton replying with success of their own. Kills going their way, a near 10 life advantage in this round. Over 2 minutes to work with. Oh. You've got A stopped. You're finding kills on transition. I mean, again, Bob Ross couldn't paint a better picture of what Stockton's put together here.
I don't know if I've seen a better ability to hold not only the A zone, but the B zone at the same time on Hotel. That's virtualistically unheard of, but they do it, and it's pretty, and it works out so well that I am actually left almost kind of speechless that the Falcons weren't able to at least clear one of the 2 zones, but tip it to the side of to Stockton, who were able to win all those one-on-one gunfights around the map and move themselves back into a tie game here. 1-1 we go. Again, this is for a reverse sweep start for the Falcons, who need this to stay alive in their chance for the playoffs. This is a match where the winning team will go on to the regional playoffs and secure themselves a spot. Stockton, on the other hand, are just 2 rounds away from finishing out and closing this series. Erie at 9 and 7. He's got as many points in this first 2 rounds of control as he has had the first 2 maps of the series.
Trying to line one up. The Lorch is not going to be able to find his Loxies with the first blood, and now it's going to push this defensive line forward as Bowling Green. It is the same thing they tried in the first round. It's going to be to get on A and stop the clock. No one watching their back on drugs. So Loxie's going to make it pay for it, and then some. Oh no, surely not. Surely not. The snake comes in. Okay. Apollo with the trade, maybe 3 kills too late. Gets it nonetheless. And Stockton could look to give this up, but the thing they did the last go around was play for exit kills, and with how well they played that last round, they could be in a good position to do this. Orbis walks away with 1, Death Gun with the trade mid-map, and the battle looks to ensue as they march across.
Orbits looking to the desk, doesn't know that Willie's in the corner there, doesn't check it for too long, so if he gets the timing here, could walk away with a gunfight win. Death Gun forced up, stun check gonna be there, 68 HP. Orbits will toss a trophy down to keep himself safe from a grenade. 2 people are starting to make their way up. You see Lil Willie in the corner. Great little free cam there from Ryan Switchy. Stun check across the corner. Lil Willie going to be able to find the best of 1. Stops up to the second. Snake head glitch. Little jump back and forth will do the trick. Forces him back to the middle of the map. And Stockton, now with full control of this B zone, have the advantage in the life count with 1:30 left on the clock.
And they just blood clocked there, waiting to take those gunfights. It was Bowling Green with hesitation and uncertainty on where they wanted to make that push through, and Stockton was fine just to hold their corner and, again, bleed that clock. Now, less than 90 seconds remaining. Bowling Green trying to get an advantage in this control once again. They have the clock stopped. They have numbers over here, but do they know Zaloxi's can strike at any moment? Top bed. Answer, no.
Almost snaps to the second, but Death Gun should be there for one over the top. But no, Apollo, Solar 6, both in great positions for a trade. That's everybody down. And now on the back line, it's going to be Cosm, Zaloxis, the only two that can start to make their way forward. Apollo, pre-aim, pre-fire, going to be able to find a few. Second progress now comes in. 5 separate the teams. The Falcons have the control. The Falcons have the B zone. And all of a sudden, they're back up yet again. We've gone offense for offense for offense in the first 3 rounds. The Falcons 1 round away from taking this control. I was thinking of all the situations with which they could, and I don't know. The fact that Stockton had both sides stopped last time, I mean, it's just going to have to be better out of Bowling Green. Fortunately, it has been all offense, so, you know, maybe it's just going to bode well for them, and they get around 5 offense and can find a way to close it out that way, but that might be how I fare their odds taking this one better than them taking it defensively. We'll see what they do here. All 4 players through mid-map. Orbits opens up with the first. Not able to find anything else just yet. The Stockton look to make their push towards the safe side now. I love what the Stockton does. They take presence, they take pressure in the middle of the map, and then they force their way to whatever site they want to go to. They bully out the spawn of the opposite team and then start to make their way forward. Much like the Falcons were able to do the last time, they are just better when they swarm in numbers, and that's why their offenses have been so good so far. So each team has played to their strengths where they can. You can see the Falcons, though, giving up the entirety of the A site. They'll surrender that to play the B zone to the best of their abilities. Stockton's all the way through into the backline spawn of this Falcons roster, though. And that's going to be the first one that goes to Orbits. Maybe snaps onto the second for Solar, but he's able to go ahead and find 2. That's the backline cleared out. People back to the spawn side, and only the middle of the map being held down from Stockton.
Willie going to try to find something desk. His gun ends up covering player of Apollo lying in wait, and now Eerie top bed going to try to slow down this push. Chopped down a couple players, snaps for a couple on a 4 spree as well. Any more kills he can find would be useful. Doesn't get the timing on standing up, and Zaloxis is there on the trade, but they have good presence mid-map now. They're really starting to push the Stockton squad back, but with these kills flying over the top, and now Stockton able to get on the site, they've got to backtrack quickly before any more kills come in.
I would have loved to see Willie maybe look over to the left just one more time, make sure he was clear before he started to cross over, but the first tick of progress looking to be completed here. Death Gun through the stun is going to be able to find one with the head glitch on the staircase. Second one there for the challenge is going to go all the way around to the right side. Excel Orbits will be able to find at least one before he gets cut down by Death Gun. And with 3 kills going their way, he looks back to the middle of the map, now making 4 in a row. Nobody's going to be close for the contestation. That's 5 for Death Gun. Now back to the staircase. Orbits is going to try for the refrag, and he will with the Semtex at least be able to cut down one player from Stockton. Still a 2 life advantage to the defense, but only 1 tick of progress is needed for the offense to take another round.
And so much time on the clock as well. Again, Stockton not having a trophy system saved Bowling Green because that nade was able to come in. Death Gun not missing, ready for all of those kills and able to take all of those fights. Now you still have over a minute to hold. They just need 1 tick. Like you said, it takes 1 4 down. Stockton can stack this and get this over with. Bowling Green playing with the spread. Open up with the first kill at least to soften things up a little. Willie lying in wait, now is able to collapse.
On the point, Willie on the staircase. That's 3 now, make it 4 down. Last one, Apollo, gonna be close here, but the stack is gonna be in. 3 players on the zone. Apollo just needs to sprint forward, but he's looking directly down the line of sight at an L-triggered player on the hill who will go ahead and find his life, take it to the grave with him. Stockton, an offense, back 2-2. We're tied up yet again. Around 5 to the side of this series will extend, or Stockton will make it to the regional playoffs.
Both teams capturing both sites. Both offensive attempts. And yeah, so it's going to come down to lives. Bowling Green should have defense here. As Stockton only walk away with a 2 life discrepancy in that one. But you're just wondering, I mean, do you have what it takes here? It's been all offense thus far. Stockton are going to have to pull off 2 in a row in order to take this one to close out the series as well. Bowling Green trying to battle back in this one. You shaped it up to kick off a reverse sweep in a round 5 fashion. They need to go massive, make a hold once again. And I think, to me, that starts with slowing down this A push. They cannot let them have it with over 2 minutes on the clock.
I want to be honest, I don't think Cosm's gotten a kill in 2 rounds. and somehow they were still able to win their last offensive attempt. Zaloxides inside of line looks for a player on Solar 6. They've got 2 players here who can make the trade work out perfectly, and they do just that. And now onto the A zone. The clock will stop. The first tick of progress looks to be in, and they got 3 players who can stack this point immediately, while player number 8 in Zaloxides is looking not only at the flank, but into the middle map by Wine as well. Second tick of progress going to come through, and the Falcons might be making a gravely dangerous move here, not sending any bodies onto this A zone at all for a contestation here. They do have a life advantage, but this is what Stockton was able to take advantage of the last time through.
Yeah, again, to me, they left so much time on the clock. They didn't even really try to bleed it, and they just don't have the confidence to, you know, be able to work and put pressure on it because they lose those lives so quickly. They obviously valuing not trying to put themselves in a life disadvantage and more so want to work against the clock once again. But the clock hasn't been a problem for Stockton offensively. This would be their 3rd offensive round if they take it. That they've won without the clock being a factor. So Bowling Green rolling the dice, a high risk, high reward play. They are already out of position. The stack can already come in out of Stockton, and once again fighting off the back foot.
I mean, they're trying to swarm the middle of the map, but once they got bedroom control, they were just able to fly forward over to B for free. Excel Orbits able to find one. Zaloxides onto Solar 6 up the staircase. Bar has been taken control of. B zone, clock stopped. Everything going the way of Stockton now, and a cruise missile to work with here for Zaloxides. The offense has the life advantage. Apollo, Orbits in the back line trying to make their way forward. It's a 3-man stack on the B zone. They've just got to fly. They've gotta get a touch on the hill. They got to get a toe or something on. Deathgun is still here. He's found 1. He's found 2. He's found all 3, and that gives Stockton a first-class ticket to the regional playoffs. Welcome to the postseason, baby. It got spicy. The Falcons, you're off a cliff. Walk the plank.
Deathgun was shooting something different in that control specifically. I mean, this play, even from a few rounds ago, whew, 26 and 20 performance. I mean, 15 non-traded kills. It's just made big plays when he needed to and helped the team put that one away. I thought for a second Bowling Green had the resurgence, and then Deathgun finds 3 to go on a force spree to close it out. Plain and simple, that's the best summation of that entire series that I can give is Stockton always had someone in the right position making the right play, and Bowling Green never had an answer for it the entire series. They did not have an answer for the big plays that Stockton put up, and there they used it to close out the series. So props to them for really, again, having their backs against the wall in that control specifically, having to win an offense, and they do just that.
Oh, what a series! It was a you know, a decently close first hard point. Stockton was able to pull it out. Search and destroy couldn't have been any further apart. And then that last control round, oh baby, was it spicy? Oh my! Also, I don't know what my final call was. I don't know why I just went like, rah, but you know what? It works. So,
I like it. It was feral. It was wild. It was great. It felt like I was watching Nat Geo between the Ospreys and the Falcons. I mean, it took me right to it. This is a free Disney Plus membership.
I don't know what it was. That last little 3-piece from Deathgun just got me riled up. I don't know. There's just an energy in me that I just had to expend. And I did it in the way that I know how to. Make a stupid random noise, and well, there we go.
It was beautiful.
GG to Stockton, though.
Yeah, GG to Stockton. I mean, I think we've all come to expect this McCorn meal, and I know I'm not shocked. I've been working with you over years. It's been
yeah, that's fair.
Just another day in the office for me. But really, to focus back in and kind of give some closing remarks about the series, you said it best. The hard point was Bowling Green's best chance in this. I mean, the control sure went to around 5, right? But defensively, they never actually looked like they were going to stand a chance, whether it be too much time on the clock, whether it be not playing well around the map and taking good positioning. I don't know that they were ever top bed longer than one sequence of kills. It seems like as soon as they got wiped, they could not find their way back to the site. And again, that's a credit to Stockton, how quickly they were able to close out on the B site. When they got an opportunity, they absolutely took it. And Bowling Green never looked comfortable. Again, though it went to round 5, it feels like that wasn't quite the case. Stockton didn't play good defense, so maybe that's something for them to brush up going forward and go back and look over. But I mean, it's just a tough series, a tough night. They didn't get like horrifically outslayed or anything. I mean, again, you talked about it, caused them one triple negative, and they still found a way to get the win. And you had your best, most even slaying performance out of Bowling Green and couldn't pull out the win. Just so tough for them. A tough way to go out of things in a quick 3-0 fashion with a winner go home on the line. But better team came out and won tonight, and really in all of our matches, I mean, the better team came out and got the job done. So again, not much else to say apart from that. It wasn't the most revolutionary night of Call of Duty we've seen, but again,
No.
these teams, whether they're from Open, whether they're from Division 2, finding ways to get the job done here in this.
I'll say this. That was it was a great effort from the Falcons. You know, if a few key moments go a couple different ways, maybe that first hard point, Erie was really able to find himself in the series the way he was in that third map earlier on. I think the hard point probably plays a bit closer, and maybe there's a few moments where, say, the Stockton roster was able to get, you know, a couple key, you know, bulk chunks of change in the hill, like 30, 40 seconds here or there. Maybe things could have turned into a different way. But across the board, you know, the consistency was rewarded for Stockton, and I do have to say, because you know, Erie didn't have a great, you know, map 1 and 2. Cosm, dude, I don't know what happened in the control. You got to rethink something, buddy. Just maybe tee it up a little bit different. You know, you're lucky Death Gun's that guy, because he just went insane, like nuclear levels of insane. I'm talking, but like. Don't do that again. In a closeout to go to playoffs, don't do that again. And if I see that in a playoff, I'll be a little upset. But as we can see at the bottom there, the 1-1 Falcons eliminated. The Sunny Canton Rouge eliminated. Stockton Esports, again, as we said at the end of the call, first class ticket to the regional playoffs here. College COD appearance, I believe, for the first time for Stockton Esports as well. So congratulations! The Ospreys flying high into what will be, I believe, the first appearance in the playoffs for that school inside of the CCL. So there we go. Awesome. A night well completed. Yeah. Other teams across the board will be making their trip into that bright 64-team vista here in some time. And well, Amber, we get to sit back and watch the chaos unfold over the next few weeks as the postseason continues to ramp up into full gear. Yeah,
it wasn't the messiest of nights, so we'll see if anyone else can try to best this one. It was still a great night of COD again. I think it was a great night to kick things off. Really got signs from top to bottom of you can't count these open division teams out. They're here to do battle, and they did just that tonight to really show that, again, I think we're going to have a few more Cinderella stories to follow than just one, you know, glaringly obvious team. And this was just night 1 of LCQ. So really excited to see, like you said, the chaos unfold as the nights continue to progress for LCQs as we look to get our 64-team playoff rounded out in its entirety. But this was a good night to kick things off. Both teams, either sides, be advanced. A lot of work on, a lot of VOD to go over for the teams that got sent home. Again, GG's go again next year maybe. But I just, it's crazy that another season we're already sending people home. We're already at the stage of it in the postseason.
Yeah, I know.
Where people were done. You're done. We'll be seeing you. But yeah, excited for what the rest of the postseason has in store. Though we didn't get any game 5s tonight, it was still exciting gameplay to see teams come out this electric and this sharp this early on. And yeah, I'm just excited for what the rest of it brings.
I am as well. So that'll wrap up another night of collegiate Call of Duty here in the College COD League. And for the time being here, Amber, that'll wrap up our portion. Before we say goodnight, before we say goodbye, I do want to give a big shout out and a thank you to our sponsors of America's Navy and Fandom. With America's Navy, you can learn about their Goats in Glory program. And if you haven't heard about their Goats in Glory program, it's an esports team that provides a platform for people to engage with sailors and learn more about the opportunities that the Navy provides. It also shares a mutual passion for gaming, which ultimately shows that sailors are just like everyone else. They have hobbies, interests, families. Being in the Navy doesn't preclude those things. If you want to learn more about the Goats in Glory team or America's Navy, go to Navy.com for more information. That being said, congratulations to the teams that won here tonight. Congratulations to the teams that are moving on to the playoffs. And a big congratulations to Stockton once again for being able to take down the Falcons in a 3-0 victory. That being said, on behalf of myself, Amber, and everybody else here from the College COD production staff and staff team, we thank you so much for coming out to night number 1 of the LCQs. And we'll be back here again at 7:30 Eastern tomorrow for the continuation of the LCQs for College COD.